Super League basketball is leveling up British hoops. This isn't just a league, it's a movement you can feel and see in the stands. From the first tip to the final buzzer, the story is written. Every drive, every shot, and every moment. Rivalries run deeper, games hit harder. One pass, one dunk, everything can shift. Legacies aren't given here, they're earned. New stories are ready, and new champions are coming. Season 2 is here. Stand tall for British basketball.
Rye slows it down. Nobody better at that than Aaron Rye. Jones for three. Out to Jones. 5 on the shot clock. Jones kicks it out. 3 goes up, and it is good from Cleary. Finds Price, who jams it home, and London are ahead.
Woo! Not just an outside shooter, Amin Adamu showing some lift.
Steps back for 3, nails it! Jordan Johnson, big shot after big shot.
Good bowler from the Lions. Williams goes baseline. Oh my goodness!
Good afternoon and welcome to the National Basketball Performance Centre here in Manchester. It's a North v South matchup today as Manchester Basketball host top of the table London Lions in their last home game of the regular season. Manchester coming off a 3-point win in Leicester on Friday night thanks to a huge shot from Jordan Johnson with around 3 seconds to play on his way to 26 on the night. And London have secured the league title but are looking to bounce back after a 3-point loss to the Cheshire Phoenix at home 2 days ago, where Tariq Phillip led the Lions with 18 points. Caroline Bullock here alongside former BBL sharpshooter Jason Swain as we get ready to tip off. So Jason, this will be the 5th time these teams have played each other this season. Manchester 2-1 in the league and London winning the cup final last month. What are you expecting from today?
Well, it's a fixture we're not going to get tired of as the end of the season approaches. This one is one of the events that everybody wants to see. You can cut the tension in here with a knife. Both of these teams do not like each other, which adds the extra spice to the ball game. And I'm expecting a fiery game by both teams.
And we've already had 4 incredible games so far this week. Friday night's games all decided by a single possession. Manchester with that win against Leicester. London falling to Cheshire. Sheffield beating Newcastle. And an overtime thriller where Caledonia came out on top in Surrey. And then we have 3 other games taking place today. Bristol and Surrey tipping off very shortly as Leicester head to Sheffield and Cheshire host Caledonia. And it is back-to-back league titles for London, holding that top spot with Cheshire and Manchester level on points behind them. But you can just see how close the rest of the table is.
You can, but first of all, congratulations to the London Lions. All 3 trophies so far are in their possession. It's a stellar season for the London club, but yeah, Cheshire Phoenix right there beating London in the last game, and with Manchester slipping up against Bristol, all to play for between 2nd, 3rd and 4th for that number 2 position.
So earlier today, Jason caught up with London's Cameron McGusty and Manchester's Jordan Johnson to get their thoughts on today's game.
Well, first of all, Cameron, congratulations. It's a league title that you've won. To add to your other pieces of silverware, you must be enjoying the season.
Definitely, you know, it's been a long one, but you know, all the hard work has paid off so far, and we got one more championship to win, so we look forward to that, and we're taking everything day by day.
And you definitely do it by committee. Not many of you guys play above 25 minutes a game, so it's a total team effort. Does that reflect on how your success has been this year?
Definitely, from guy 1 to 10 or 11, however many guys we have that night, we expect everybody to play. Whenever we get tired, we ask for subs, and we got guys that we trust, and our coaches and our players, we all trust in each other. So it's always good to be deep and have a team where it doesn't matter who's playing.
Well, speaking of guys that you can trust, you're a former Miami Hurricane. You had 17.8 points in your senior year. You also made a huge shot against Duke back in 2022. So if it comes down to it, Cameron, will the ball be in your hands?
Yeah, if my number gets called, for sure. But like I said, I'm always on the court with 4 other guys that not only that I trust, but my teammates, my coaches as well. So, if it's me, it's me. If it's someone else, I have so much faith in, whatever they do with the ball.
So, Jordan, ahead of tonight's game with London, it's a big rivalry now. You teams are really going at each other. And dare I say there's a little bit of chippiness in tonight's game.
Oh, yeah, for sure. It's chippiness on top of it being 2-2, but we also feel like we gave one away in the cup, so we just want to come out and make sure we finish what we started.
Well, you never gave things away, and especially on Friday night, that huge shot against Leicester looked like a practice shot, and I often refer to you as never breaking sweat. How can you remain so cool in those moments?
Because like you said, it's a practice shot. I work on that every day. I'd be a fool to not believe in my work. I know in those type of moments I live for, so I had my team back as long as they had mine.
Well, speaking about your work as a New Orleans privateer graduate, you had 20.4 points in your senior year, but you have to now defer slightly to others. You're also up there in 5th in league in the assists this season. What's your game? Do you score first or do you pass first?
Most people are not going to believe this, but I like to pass first. Scoring is just a second option. It's just something I guess God blessed me with, but I like to get my teammates involved. That way when they get going, I can just do what I got to do after that.
Jordan Johnson there for Manchester Basketball, the game winner on Friday night. And over the last 10 games, 65% of Johnson's points have come in the second half for Manchester Basketball. Time and time again, he comes up clutch when his team need him to.
Well, I think the most impressive thing, Kaz, of all of his points have been coming off the bench. You saw Manchester dominate Leicester off the bench on Friday night, and he just comes in and goes to work. As you can see the clips there of the final, he did so much work in that first half to keep Manchester in striking distance. But the New Orleans privateer graduate in 2024, he's used to scoring 20.4 points in his senior year, but interviewing him before, you heard he would rather pass the ball. He's not only able to eat, he's also able to feed others.
And for the London Lions, Cameron McGusty, the Cup Final MVP in his first season for London, averaging just under 9 points a game, 4.3 rebounds, and a plus-minus of 7.5. He does all those intangible things needed to help London win.
He does, and London, when you talk about like MVPs of the season, it's very difficult to pick one from their team because no one averages over 23.1 minutes per game, but at the end of the game, just as he did in college against Duke, he wants the basketball in his hands. You see in the finals, he was the difference, made 3 key buckets going down the stretch, as we can see on the screen. And cometh the hour, cometh the man. Cameron McGusty will want the ball in his hands if this one is close.
So certainly a matchup to watch out on the floor today as we take a look at the starting fives for both teams, starting with the London Lions. And it will be Joel Scott, John D. Brown Jr., Tariq Phillip, Shava Reynolds Jr. and Ethan Price. Coach Sabonis mixing up his rotations there, some changes from Friday night.
Yeah, I'm really impressed, Kaz, how they've all fit in together and bought into the team system. They're an excellent defensive unit, and that means everyone comes to practice and everyone applies themselves. And with all the stars on that roster, they've all been able to gel, so credit to them for what they've done already this season.
And for Manchester Basketball, starting today, it will be DJ Mitchell, PJ Smith Jr., Max Jones, Matt Nicholson and Tim Adatu-Cassie. DJ Mitchell moving into the starting lineup in his 4th game back for Manchester Basketball after that 17.7 rebound game on Friday night.
And that is the interesting thing. Max Jones had to go out for 2 technical fouls on Friday, which allowed Donovan Mitchell just to say, give me the basketball. And I think that he's been brought into this team because of the likes of the opposition today. They were just 1 short in the final against London. Is he going to be the difference maker? And can they get that going towards the playoffs?
So teams out on the court as we get ready for tip-off. London playing in white today and Manchester in black. And the 5th matchup this season between both of these teams. Manchester 2 wins and 1 loss in the league. London obviously winning the cup final in Manchester at the AO Arena just last month. It has been a battle every time these 2 teams have faced each other.
Well, usually, Kaz, when teams come out at the beginning, you can see them shaking hands and you can see them giving each other 5 before this and when they're warming up, but there was none of that. Teams both went to their ends, they shot the basketball and they decided to focus on just their own team. So you already know there is a little bit of to and fro going to go on tonight, and although London have already solidified the league, and you could argue that there's not much to play for, I think there's all to play for when these 2 teams met.
There certainly is. So for the tip, it will be Nicholson and Price. Last home game of the regular season for Manchester Basketball as the ball's up and we're underway. First possession will go to London. And Reynolds Jr. will take control. Finds Phillip. Phillip driving to the basket. Too strong, but Price is there for the putback.
No box out, and the Price is right early on as Ethan Skies sticks that one back. Really emphatic dunk to start this one.
Jones to Smith Jr. Smith Jr. dancing round the outside, stops, hangs in the air. Ball's in and out, but a foul on the shot, so Smith Jr. will go to the line.
Well, everything's amplified against London because if they score at one end, they are so good defensively in the half court if you can stay in front. That will negate Manchester's ability to run down and play quick offense. So they have to do things like they've just done now, which is exploit mismatches. PJ Smith, seeing that he had Joel Scott ahead of him and went to work, so a really smart play by PJ.
As he hits the first free throw and gets Manchester onto the scoreboard.
He's playing well just at the right time as well, PJ Smith. Getting in his groove going in towards the playoffs.
Second's good as well. Yeah, he certainly is. Had a stretch of 3 games in March where he averaged just under 25 points a game. And obviously a big part of the EMBL team for Manchester as they'll be heading to the semi-final this week. Brown Jr. shots up and down.
Well, picky poison, they ran the same play twice in a row. Tyreek Phillip got to the cup on the previous one. This time he makes the correct decision and Brown Jr. splashes the 3.
3-point lead for the Lions early on. Adatu-Cassie to Smith Jr. Round Price swings it to DJ Mitchell, who's open! And DJ Mitchell doing what he does best.
Yeah, not a good strategy to leave that guy open as DJ Mitchell, a replica player of London's on the other end.
As ball's out of bounds, last touch Manchester. So London take it from the end line.
Hard to load up against any one guy against London. If you get beat, they know how to exploit mismatches and know how to play the basketball around the perimeter.
Great save from Price as he finds Scott. Ball will go out of bounds.
Just as I say that, Joel Scott throws it to Coach Sabonis, who I reckon would have made that in his day.
I think he would have done. I think he would have done. Give it a go.
Family history not to be argued with. Proud Lithuanian. Go back to the days of Šarūnas Maršalonis, Jasikevičius. and co. Sabonis is a huge name within the Lithuanian game.
It certainly is, and his brother Domantas with Sacramento in the NBA. As Brown Jr. to Price. Price stops and puts it in.
Yeah, we go back to Sabonis, his father, arguably one of the best ever, or if not the best ever, in European basketball, played at the Portland Trailblazers in the NBA. What a family tradition to come from that is.
It certainly is, and really interesting how he's found his path to coaching early on, as Adatu Kassi in the corner, can't get it to go. And another save from Price, and Ethan Price does such a good job under the basket, the positions he gets himself into. He's going to save the ball. And then defense to offense as Ethan Price takes the Lions up to 10. He's up to 7 points personal as Jones can't answer. Nicholson tips it over to Adatu Kassi. And a collision underneath the basket.
Well, credit Matt Nicholson, I beg your pardon, coming back with his second tip. The first one didn't go in, but that time he tipped it out for an extra possession, because on the other end he has his hands full with Ethan Price. Ethan Price can spread the floor, shoot the three, and he moves well on the offensive glass. So Matt Nicholson will have to just get what he does well and go to the offensive boards.
That's a second team foul on London. Adatu Kassi all the way, gets the roll. And it's a 3-point game.
He could be the difference maker today, Adatu Kassi. Had that basket down in London to win the game earlier on in the season as Manchester come out running.
And what a pass from DJ Mitchell over to Smith Jr.
I'm going to talk about the evolution of DJ Mitchell from last year to this year. He looks like twice the player he was, and he was very good last year. But what I like about him now is, you know, he rebounds. He's come in his first few games, and he's second in rebounding on the team. But he has improved in terms of handling the basketball in the open court. As soon as he gets it, 1 or 2 dribbles, and his team are gone.
And you can see that connection there. So only playing in his 4th game, obviously was with Zach Irvin last year on the team and Kyle Carey. But the connection he's already got with Smith Jr. and the other players on the team in such a short time span is so impressive.
Yeah, well, they have all the ingredients for a really, really nice meal. The truth is, will it get cooked in time? Because they have to go into the playoffs with the momentum, and it's just a matter of, can they balance out who's who on the team, as Max Jones definitely knows what he does, and he shoots the three. Unlucky.
London back down the floor as Reynolds Jr. has it. Reynolds Jr. against Smith Jr. Out to Price. Phillip. Oh, a hook shot. Great tip there from Price, and London will get another chance. 8 seconds on the shot clock. Reynolds Jr., 4 seconds, out to Brown Jr., off the rim, and Mitchell is off to the races and slams it down! And Mitchell making a statement early on.
Shonda Brown Jr., welcome to Donovan Mitchell's poster as he punches that one on the break. Manchester outrunning, that is their game. Can they stop London twice in a row? And an offensive foul. Oh, I thought it was going to be an offensive foul. But that is what I'm talking about. If you can stop London in the half court, you can run. It's a tough team to stop.
So that was an offensive foul. That's against Phillips. So Lions on 3 team fouls.
Like my father told me, Kaz, just always go with your gut feeling. I was right.
And substitutions for both teams as we see Zach Irvin in for the first time for Manchester. And Dean Williams out for London. It's a 1-point Lions lead. Just over 5 minutes to play here in the first quarter. Smith Jr. Mitchell trying to get free, but Smith Jr. out to Jones. And Jones finds Irvin, threes up and in! And Zach Irvin off the bench, instant impact.
They always find that corner. Max Jones with the really, really good pass. Zach Irvin nails the corner 3 ball.
London looking to answer, Magusti. Reynolds Jr. Williams Williams with 5 seconds, runs into Nicholson. Can't finish, but Scott's there for the rebound and gets another chance for London. Joel Scott just working under the basket as the ball will go out of bounds. London not able to capitalise on those offensive rebounds.
Joel Scott, an absolute monster on the offensive glass, though. Every time that shot goes up, he's there. And that's why he is 6th in the league with 2.3 rebounds per game at the offensive end.
Manchester up 14-12. Johnson, Jordan Johnson into the game for the first time for Manchester alongside Gabe Ossaboyan. As Ossaboyan out to Mitchell, thought about it. Mitchell against McGusty, sidesteps and hits! DJ Mitchell's feeling it early on.
I love the start by Manchester, and exceptionally DJ Mitchell, who he knows he has to stand up and be counted. He's been patient in these opening games of his, but tonight he has to make a stand, and he's doing it so far. DJ Mitchell already on the board with 8 points.
So a timeout called as teams want to talk it over, and Manchester with a 5-point lead. And we have spoken about him, but DJ Mitchell, so with Manchester Basketball last season, was playing in the NBL with the South East Melbourne Phoenix. This season just gone, the Australian season having finished, he's come back to Manchester. He's been playing 3x3 for Australia in the Asia Cup. He brings such a wealth of experience back to this club.
He has, and every player can improve, and you can tell he works diligently on his craft, because when he was here last year, fans got to see the scoring potential of DJ Mitchell, but how he makes other players better in these first few games he's played is really good to watch. He seems under more control than he was before, and he was already a very good player.
So leading all scorers, it's DJ Mitchell with 8 points, and then Ethan Price with 7 for the Lions. And we saw Price with those 7 early points for London. Do you want to see them maybe look to him again for that inside look?
He's not really a guy that you go to straight away. He's a guy that gets things off the offense. He can make those reads. And guys like McGusty, guys like Chonde Brown, they will instigate what happens, and Dean Williams also, but they will instigate what happens, and guys like Price will play off them. So he knows his role, and he does it very well.
Rayo Soloade out onto the floor for the Lions as he picks up the loose ball. Back to Soloade. 7 seconds on the clock. Out to the corner. McGusty with space. Gets the bounce.
Good shot by McGusty. Just gathered that basketball as Manchester outrunning again, and DJ Mitchell right down the guts of the defense. And one, he is the first guy in double figures. What a pass and what a finish.
That was absolutely incredible from Mitchell. And the perfect pass as well to be able to get it to Mitchell running down the lane. And that's the second foul on Joel Scott for London, and takes London up to 14 fouls.
And make no mistake, London know that they have their hands full with this guy as he outruns Joel Scott, which not many do. And the really, really nice pass that he is allowed to finish. But that is impressive because it's after a score by London.
Mitchell doesn't convert the free throw. It's a 4-point Manchester lead. Soloade. Soloade. Swings it to Rye. Back to Soloade. 4 seconds on the clock. Soloade looking to pass inside. It's broken up by Irving, and Manchester running the floor as Jones scoops it up and in. Eventually gets it to drop.
Yeah, I think Dean Williams had a piece of that by Max Jones. He elevated quickly, which really didn't allow any shot block as Gabe Ossaboyan nearly pokes that basketball away. Manchester are outrunning Kaz.
They certainly are, and Gabe Ossaboyan plays like that. They're so disruptive. He's so good at that, just knocking the ball away. He might not come up with the steal every single time, but it's going to force London here to reset.
It will, but you know, let's not fall in love with the Manchester lead too early, because in the final, this is what happened. They went up, they had a lead, and London just hung around till that decisive moment. So all is still well for both of these clubs.
Phillip looks for a path to the basket, finds it, and lays in 2.
Wow, Tyreek Phillip went past PJ Smith like a statue.
Leads down to 4 for Manchester. Smith Jr. to Mitchell. Mitchell to the basket. And DJ Mitchell up to 12 points here in the first 7.5 minutes.
Wow.
Magusti. Great save from Phillip. As London moving the ball around, back to Magusti outside, and the shot spins out. And Johnson racing down the court. Can't get it to go.
He just ran out of space. I think he took off too early, Jordan Johnson. And Ossaboyan is there with his first offensive foul of the game.
So this is something I want to see on the stats sheet, Jason. And I'll speak to people about it. We'll get it sorted. But I want to know how many charges players take in a game, because Gabe Ossaboyan is up there.
Well, in his defense, if he has an agent put those clicks together, I'm sure he does in terms of charges, but should they count as a steal? Because there's something that don't show up on the stat sheet, but are so important.
Just over 2 minutes to play in the first quarter. Johnson against Williams, hangs in the air and puts it in. And Johnson, he's such a good finisher around the basket. Whether he's taking it all away or that floater, that's something we've got used to seeing from him. As Manchester will pick up their second team foul here.
Dean Williams doing the right thing. He was pressured by Ossaboyan, and whenever you pressured, you attack back. Because next time it will mean Ossaboyan will have to back up slowly. So good play by Williams.
So Ossaboyan will pick up his first foul. He'll go to the bench, and we'll see Matt Nicholson back out for Manchester. London ball from the sideline. Manchester up 8. As Magusti back to Phillip. Phillip with a deep 3, splashes in from outside.
Phillips says, how dare you go zone. Manchester in a 2-3, and Phillips makes them pay. Jordan Johnson with his hand down.
Puts the lead down to 5 as Johnson pulls up. Not that time. And Phillip will take it back down the floor for the Lions. Phillip all the way to the hoop. Oh, what a shot from Phillip.
Circus shot by Tyreek Phillip.
Just like that, it's a single possession game. Adatu Kassi. And a foul called against the Lions. So that will be foul number 5, and that will send Manchester to the line for 2 free throws.
Yeah, good refereeing. A lot of guys missed that because the contact was there first, and then he hammered down on the arm of Adatu Kassi to pick up the foul. So really good call by the referee.
So Williams picks up the foul, and he'll go to the bench, and Ethan Price will come back in.
When we get a breaking play, how impressive was Cheshire's win in London to really set the cat amongst the pigeons in terms of race for second, because they really came out playing well and dominated the game.
And they were just firing. Cheshire, a really, really tough team. They're consistently a tough team to go up against. And to go into the Copper Box, to go into London, and to get that 3-point win.
Yeah, I mean,
huge.
collectively they played well. They have potentially, arguably, one of the choices of MVP in Pat Robinson, you know, who's had a really, really good year. But I'm also surprised that they didn't take that late 3-ball. Mo Solowade, you know, he's third in 3-point shooting in this league at 42.9%, and he had an open look on the wing and turned it down. So Cheshire kind of evaded a lot of turnovers, and Mo Solowade could have tied that game right at the end. Oh, wow.
A fantastic finish there, the contact and the foul, so basket counts. And one free throw to come.
One-man wrecking crew. He moves to 9 points personal.
We can see it back here. Phillip just taking the contact from Nicholson as he picks up his first foul. Manchester on 3 team fouls now. And Tariq Phillip in his second stint with the London Lions. Previously played from 2022 to 24 and was named to the BBL All-Defensive Team, an All-British team in his time. As he doesn't get the free throw, Nicholson with a big rebound. Johnson saves it and will reset, waits for the team to catch up. As ball's loose, I think Phillip got a hand on that to knock it away as Magusti Tries to save it in, he does. Right, waiting in the corner. And London playing hot potato with the basketball.
Someone shoot this thing.
5 seconds on the shot clock. And Phillip will put it up. It's off the rim. And Manchester can hold here for the last shot. 10 seconds in the first quarter. 6 seconds. Johnson has it. Johnson spinning, backing away, and doesn't get the bounce. So at the end of the first quarter, it's a 27-24 lead for Manchester Basketball over the London Lions. DJ Mitchell leading all scorers so far with 12 points for Manchester. And it's Tariq Phillip with 9 points for the Lions.
Well, what a start we've had here, Kaz. That's all we would have imagined to be a perfect first quarter. Both teams really giving punch for punch and just what we would expect.
And if we take a look at the stats there, we can see London shooting 50% from the three-point range, 4 of 8 to Manchester's 3 of 5. And 56% each from field goal percentage. London just edging the battle of the boards there, 10-7.
Well, if you're a three-point shooter, have a look at that. 60% plays 50%. If that continues, we won't be interested in the defense of anybody. We didn't come for defense, did we, Kaz? You know.
A really interesting stat here, Jason. 10 points from turnovers for Manchester to 0 for London. So Manchester have got those stops and they've capitalised on those mistakes from London. And London are a team that they don't make a lot of mistakes. So you want to be able to take advantage when you can get a stop.
They have, and they've done a good job, so they will be happy with how they've done that. However, London will be going into that timeout saying, if we just don't turn the ball over for a while, we'll be back up in this one. So yes, emphasis is on keeping the ball and being safe with it, and let's see what happens in these first few minutes.
And for London as well, so you've had 5 turnovers, but you're still down, only down 3. Yeah. That's nothing.
Nothing.
So teams back out onto court for the second quarter. And it's Manchester possession. Johnson with 26 points on Friday night against the Leicester Riders. Smith Jr. against Rice, spins, stops. That's short. Rye to Reynolds Jr. Soloade hands off to Magusti. Magusti pulls up from the elbow and nails it.
Mid-range game, Magusti. He pulls up from 12 feet, and how many times did he do that in the final? 2 or 3 to the detriment of Manchester.
1 point game. Johnson floaters short. Ball's tipped to Manchester, get a second chance, and Smith Jr.
2 bites of the cherry for Manchester's PJ Smith. Doesn't need to be invited, shooting a really high percentage from three-point line this year. Is right back at you, says Reynolds Jr.
And we saw Reynolds Jr. down the stretch in that win London had here in Manchester earlier in the season. That mid-range shot from him was so effective. He was able to come up big in that fourth quarter in those last couple of minutes where London took the lead. And Smith Jr. fouled on the shot, will go to the free throw line.
Yeah, foul called on Shavar Reynolds Jr. He doesn't really argue. He thought he had a piece of the ball, but also had a piece of the arm. But isn't it interesting that away from home these teams win? If you count Manchester, the final, being there in their home city, and here in the last league game, and then go down to London and Manchester win those 2. So you would probably argue both of these teams better playing away from home if they meet each other.
So do we want to see them on neutral ground? Do we want to see them playing?
London will have home court advantage throughout, so they will be at the copper box playing, whereas Manchester will have to try get that elusive second spot. Still have to go through Sheffield as well next week.
That's Reynolds Jr. in the corner against Smith Jr. Reynolds Jr. fading away, and that is his shot.
Yeah, two guards playing in the low post there, banging away.
Osaboyan out to Mitchell. Mitchell runs into Rye, has to back up. Mitchell pulls up from three, doesn't drop, and Manchester with another chance thanks to Gabe Osaboyan. As Jones cutting to the basket.
Well, if you cut when Gabe Osaboyan has the ball in his hands, he will find you. Max Jones working well off the ball. Gabe Osaboyan with the nice pass.
As McGusty powers his way inside, gets the roll and the foul. Cameron McGusty with a chance for an extra shot here at the foul line as Adatu Cassie picks up his first.
He is on 7 points and he's percolating right now. Those last two offenses, he has looked much more assertive. He's taken his time early on, but in his last two possessions, Cameron McGusty has wanted the basketball.
And McGusty playing in Poland last season where he averaged just under 20 points a game. Was named the league MVP and finals MVP as he hits the free throw. And
how Legia Warsaw will have missed him after he left, because players like that don't come along too often.
As he'll head to the bench and Sean D. Brown Jr. comes in for the Lions. It's a 1 point Manchester lead. Jones going against Williams. Jones to the basket, blocked by Williams. And Smith Jr. nets it from outside.
Two breaks in play, Kaz, have allowed Smith Jr. to make his 2 3-point shots.
And he's ready and waiting in that exact spot where he wants the ball.
Tough to recover defensively on a broken play too.
Phillip inside, doesn't get it to go. Adatu Cassie over to Smith Jr. And foul will go against Aaron Ryan London.
Smart foul by Aaron Rye, really stopping Smith Jr. away that far from the bucket in the open court. It's not good for your health. However, Aaron Rye just says take that one out on the side and everybody slow down. Good foul by the ex-Dartmouth player.
It's a second team foul on London this quarter as Manchester take it from the sideline. Adatu Cassie to Smith Jr. Steps into the shot. Off the back iron, but Osaboyan comes up with it. Jones calling for it outside. And foul will go against Osaboyan on the rebound.
That is why Tyreek Phillip is an absolute luxury to have. He can score, he can pass, he's really athletic and quick, but he is not scared of mixing it up, and one of the fiercest competitors we have in the Super League.
So both teams on 2 team fouls. Reynolds Jr. with possession. 4 point Manchester lead as ball will go out of bounds and last touch London.
Well, right idea from Reynolds Jr. It was just an inch or two off at the feet of Dean Williams, and Manchester will run it right back. So 37 plays 33, Kaz. Anybody's game?
It certainly is as Jones swings it round out to Mitchell, and Mitchell doesn't get the bounce there. And Brown Jr. at the other end, but DJ Mitchell making a stand on defense.
Credit DJ Mitchell, he watched that bounce in and around and he was tormented that it came out. At the other end, he comes up with a stop.
Ball's back with Manchester, 6 to play in the first half. Jones, round the screen from Adatu Cassie. Out to Adatu Cassie. Osaboyan to Smith Jr. Smith Jr. Same play, same result. 3 threes for Smith Jr. on that wing. And a timeout called by London as Manchester stretch the lead up to 7. And PJ Smith Jr. 15 points, 3 made threes, 4 rebounds, and 3 assists.
Really good patience by Gabe Ossaboyan in the block, taking his time. He always thinks pass first. PJ Smith moving without the basketball, as you see here, the earlier 3. And then he just kept going. Gabe Ossaboyan all over this game early.
So it's been a 13-9 run for Manchester this quarter. What do you want to see from London coming out of this timeout to cut into this?
Well, if you're London, you have to look after the basketball. The emphasis is still on that. Let's not get carried away. It's only 7 points, and Manchester have made lots of baskets, shooting the ball exceptionally well from 3, so they won't panic, but the emphasis still has to be on not allowing Manchester to get their running game going.
Manchester with 10 second chance points from 6 offensive rebounds. They've certainly been making the most of those extra chances.
They have, and that's all Gabe Ossaboyan. He comes in the game and he's active on the glass. DJ Mitchell is always a presence going to the offensive rebounds.
So teams back out on the floor, and it will be Lions ball.
PJ Smith 3 for 4 from three-point land today. I'm really impressed. His first season out of college at this point in the season, when many guys get that itch to just get back home. He's probably playing his best basketball. Manchester going to that 2-3 zone. Sorry, Kaz.
Magusti. Into Brown Jr., and Brown Jr. lays into.
Gabe Ossaboyan hit the deck there. Nice cut by Brown Jr.
It's a 5-point Manchester lead. Jones stops underneath the basket. Will be called for the travel. And it'll be London possession. London with a chance to cut this back down to a single possession game.
Not often Coach Matthew Watton argues, and he's arguing that Tyreek Phillip pulled him. I think that one could go either way, as Max Jones hit the ice, didn't really get a chance to stop.
London with 24 wins this season in the Super League. Back-to-back league titles, as Magusti over to Phillip. Back into Williams, and Williams under the basket with a tough finish.
Gathered himself really well.
Leads down to 3 for Manchester. Smith Jr. Smith Jr. all the way, pulls up and floats it in.
Well, I was here early and I watched him work on that shot time and time again. The giant killer, eliminating any shot block. PJ Smith with the skills.
And Smith Jr. with 17 first half points. Williams space for 3. And cuts the lead down to 2. Well, and that's too much space for Dean Williams.
There's no denying it. You're just going to have to play your best game to beat these guys.
Mitchell. Adetoukasi with 6 seconds back into Mitchell, but it's broken up. And Magusti coming up with a steal as Williams.
Tyreek Phillip has his fingerprints all over this one. The defensive play at one end, he was matched up against DJ Mitchell on the perimeter and then on the block, and he used his smarts by getting around, stealing the basketball and delivering an on-point pass. Williams does the rest. Really nice play, all by Tyreek Phillip.
Williams with a really controlled finish there, able to tie the game at 42 all. And a timeout called, so 4:06 to play in the first half. And Dean Williams has been huge this second quarter. 7 points personal for Williams. And leading all scorers, PJ Smith Jr., 17 points.
London won't mind. They won't mind PJ Smith having 17. It was the same with Jordan Johnson in that first half in that final. And then they don't worry if somebody gets 50, as long as that says W at the end of the game. So they will let someone go off and everyone else kind of simmer. The fact is they put the brakes on with DJ Mitchell. Hasn't scored as well as he did in the first quarter. And just can they contain Manchester enough to just strike at the right time? But tie ball game for them is right where they want to be.
And for London as well, we've seen them all season long. So Joel Scott leading the way in scoring with 13.3 points per game. But they're really a team that win by committee, aren't they? On any given night, it's any player that can score for them.
Well, there's no better example than Aaron Rye. I mean, Aaron Rye is the unsung hero of this team. 5.9 rebounds a game, and he's only playing 21 minutes. So they definitely spread the wealth. But with all the competition they've played in, they've won every trophy so far. They've played in the Euro Cup. You know, they have to rotate the bench, but even more impressive, they've all bought into that.
So back out on the floor. It's under 4 minutes to play in the first half, and it's a tie ball game. Jones steps back for three, doesn't go. And London with a chance to take the lead. Magusti to Scott. Scott going against Duke Shelton, so Shelton seeing some minutes for Manchester as he's whistled for the foul, and Manchester pick up the third team foul of the quarter. And a substitution as Nicholson will come back in and Shelton will go to the bench. So Phillip will take it from the end line. Ball's into Magusti. Magusti stops and pulls up. And two more for Magusti as London take the lead. And he's into double figures.
Mid-range Magusti.
Jones looks to answer. Not that time. Phillip to Brown Jr. And ball will just go out of bounds.
Manchester dodge a bullet. That was a dunk for Brown Jr. as he just lost that ball. Maybe wiped his hands on his shorts. That's usually what guys do.
Smith Jr. will set things up. Smith Jr. shots in and out, and Phillip with another big rebound for the Lions. Phillip out to the corner, and Magusti, steps back. Doesn't drop, but another chance here for the Lions. Magusti against Mitchell. 6 seconds on the clock. Magusti to the basket, kicks it out, time running down, and Williams will put it up at the buzzer, but shot is waved off, and that will be a 24-second violation.
Yeah, good patience by London, but just a split second too late. Manchester playing good defense to rotate, and that ball was definitely in Dean Williams' hands when those red lights went up on that backboard.
Johnson. Nicholson hands off to Jones. And a foul on the floor against London. That'll be their third this quarter. And that's the second foul on Phillip. So we'll have substitution for London as Aaron Rye, Ethan Price and Shava Reynolds Jr. come into the game.
Max Jones making an effort to keep his emotions in check. He got thrown out against Leicester in bizarre circumstances. One technical foul for hanging on the rim and then the other for body language. So his night was done pretty quick in the fourth. Tough break really for him on Friday night.
Johnson against Reynolds Jr. 5 seconds. And foul goes against London, so that's their fourth. Manchester take it from the end line. And Price picks up his second.
Not sure how many bruises both Nicholson and Price will have tomorrow morning, but Price hanging on for dear life there as Nicholson went to set that ball screen. They're both really going at each other.
I think they'll need an ice bath when they're done.
Yeah.
Smith Jr. And Nicholson jams it down. The one-handed slam from the big man inside ties the game at 44. And it's London ball. Williams. Reynolds Jr., 8 seconds. Reynolds Jr. running floater, bounces off. And Nicholson picks up the rebound. Tied at 44 all. Johnson stops, scoops it up, doesn't get it to go, but Nicholson's there, can't finish on the putback. And the Lions have it. McGusty stops, and travel called.
Yeah, good call. Same call as Max Jones had the other way, but Matt Nicholson probably would have thrown that one down if someone would have jumped, because that dunk, as we may get to see it on the replay, so nice. I hope we're going to see it twice. We're not. We're going to see the foul on McGusty, but Matt Nicholson, if we can get to that timeout and see that dunk again. In college was known as the lob hunter.
He was. As a timeout called, so 44 all. 1:16 to play here in the first half, and leading all scorers is PJ Smith Jr., 17 points, and Tariq Phillip with 9 points for London. So far, both teams shooting well from the field, Jason.
Yeah, it's definitely been 44 plays 44 for a reason. Defensively, both teams are very good. London the best in the league, but 44 points against either opposition shows that the basketball has been really shot efficiently.
Yeah, and Manchester with the second best offense in the league, averaging 88.4 points a game so far this season. And all roads lead to the O2 Arena in May for the playoff final. You can get your tickets now. Go to www.axs.com or to superleaguebasketballm.co.uk. The men's and women's finals coming up at the O2 Arena in London. It's what all teams are aiming for at this point in the season.
They are, and it's so important that they keep the momentum going. No matter how many losses you've had or how many wins you've had, right now is the business end of the season as Nicholson rocks the rim again.
And Manchester take a 2-point lead. Final minute of the first half. McGusty to Price. Price lines it up. Doesn't go. Johnson from outside. Spins out. And London with a chance to tie or take the lead.
Really well played by Aaron Rye on the perimeter against Jordan Johnson, as McGusty will head to the free throw line. But Jordan Johnson had to really sky that one. If it had gone in, I would have been severely impressed.
So Manchester pick up the 4th team foul of the quarter, and fouls against DJ Mitchell, his first. So Cameron McGusty at the foul line for London. The player that won the BCL when he played. Oh, sorry, no, he didn't. McGusty hits the first free throw.
You have too much information in that brain, guys. You have lots of it, but I can't believe Donovan Mitchell only has 1 rebound. He seemed to go after every single thing.
I think he's had a lot of tipped rebounds.
Yeah, okay.
So McGusty goes 2 of 2 from the line. And he's up to 12 points personal, ties the game at 46 all. So substitution for London, Brown Jr. back out on court, and Price will go to the bench. Johnson directs in traffic. Johnson to Mitchell. Mitchell spinning to the basket, hangs in the air. Shot doesn't fall, and London can hold for the last possession. 7 seconds. Magusti has it. Jones on him. 3 seconds. Magusti stops, fading away. And that will do it for the first half. And we're all level at 46 after 20 minutes.
Well, this is what we wanted, a close ball game. We'll get even more severe in this second half. Both teams really, really want this win. That is not in doubt, but Manchester with the early lead and London, as always, coming back.
So leading all scorers, it is PJ Smith Jr., 17 points, two rebounds and 4 assists. And we can see there, teams shooting well from the field, 58% for the Lions to Manchester's 44. And that 3-point shooting, we didn't see as many dropping in that second quarter, but 5 of 10 for London and 6 of 15 for Manchester.
Yeah, you're being very harsh, Kaz. You don't seem very impressed that Manchester is shooting 40% and London's shooting 50. You know, you take that on any given day. But yeah, they were shooting 60% in the first quarter. That's maybe the reason London have just crawled back into this one.
And London leading the rebounding 21-16. Manchester though with 7 offensive rebounds leading to those 10 second chance points. And we've seen how important they have been for the team so far. So teams chance here to reset. What do you want to see them do coming out of half time?
We'll just keep going. There's plenty more to play for, and both of these teams will be very happy in the situations they're in. London, in a way, don't have anything to lose. This league is sewn up, but they do not like Manchester, and conversely, Manchester do not like them. For Manchester, it's a must-win game, so they have to keep shooting the basketball. I think it just all boils down to who makes shots and who plays well.
And Cameron Magusti, we mentioned him pre-game, but he's leading the way for London with 12 points. So second half coming up very shortly, but stay tuned for an interview with Manchester's Kane Henry.
Super League basketball is leveling up British hoops. This isn't just a league, it's a movement you can feel and see in the stands. From the first tip to the final buzzer, the story is written. Every drive, every shot, and every moment. Rivalries run deeper, games hit harder. One pass, one dunk, everything can shift. Legacies aren't given here, they're earned. New stories are ready, and new champions are coming. Season 2 is here. Stand tall for British basketball.
I'm nervous when it comes to games in general. Like, I never know the outcome of things. But just the potential of our team that we had. I was the young gun in the group. Like, I had like Miles Hesson, Orlan Jackman, Jamal Anderson. Like, they're all way older than me. So it's like I felt like I had a lot to. I just had a lot to prove, you know. And you know, I think the one goal, and I think we showed out really well. When the final shot dropped, you know, Miles hit that game winner. I went crazy. Like, I'm never really one to like celebrate. Like, I'm really just bland. I'm boring, monotone, whatever. I just remember getting out my seat, running up to Miles. I just gave him the fattest hug ever. I was just screaming. It was crazy. But even then, I still haven't like fathomed like what we just did. And things didn't really kick in until later on that night. It's like, I didn't take off my gold medal for like a week straight. I went to bed with my medal. I was showering my medal. I was like, I'm not letting this go. And I felt special. I felt really special. I'm like, Ken just won a gold medal. I'm about to play pro. It was like, life's going the right way for me, innit? So I was like, I love it. It's crazy. Like, I still couldn't believe it. It's like going from winning the medal and then going on to proceeding to like going to do what you love, earning money. It's like, this is I won't say it's a once in a lifetime opportunity. I feel like I just needed to be around my own culture. You know, I've been around Americans for 5 years, then around Germans for 3 years. I'm just like, I want to be around my people. I want to be around my friends and family. I want people to I want to show my friends, I want them to come support me, which I've always wanted to do. You know, just allow them to have the opportunity to see how far I've come, you know, and just put a little show for them, make sure they have a good time. I mean, that's probably what was most important for me. Most people have never really seen me play on domestic soil, and you know, everyone's only seeing highlights or whatever it is, and no one's really seen certain aspects of my game. For example, like I love defense, so I feel like being able to show people what I'm truly capable of it's exciting. It's exciting. I hope, you know, could put on a show for these lot and show people how much of a dog I am. I got a lot of people that look up to me. You know, even if it is outside of London, no matter where it is, you know, they're able to come watch a game down in Manchester. Like, it's always a pleasure, it's always an honor. Like, I've never really realized how much I inspire people. Like, I've had people message me online, social media, just, you know, just saying how much they look up to me or whatever. So just having that in the back of my mind and knowing I'm capable of doing something like that, for me to be closer to home and allowing them to come, you know, make whatever comes to fruition. It's like, yeah, I love that. Just having, you know, young guys coming up, showcasing their talents, you know, friends who are like guys I've hooped with in the past. I feel like it's a great opportunity for us, you know, to show everyone in and outside the league, like, us Brits have talent. Like, we can rock with these guys and just prove to them we have a spot for you, you know.
Welcome to Utilita Arena for the first major final of the Super League basketball season. History waiting to be written.
The first final of the season, and it couldn't get much better than this. We are underway here in Birmingham. Nice pass out court. Mullins cashes in. What a finish as well through the contact. Rob has to heave it here. Can't get hold of the ball. Does get it away and banks it in. Hatters in full flow right now. Kick to the corner. Harrison for three. Got it and one. And the celebrations can begin.
Now we won the trophy.
The Sheffield Hatters are the Betty Cadona Trophy champions. It is the Lions era against the defending champions, the Newcastle Eagles. 40 minutes to decide who's the champion. Jack has long ahead of him. Phil finds Cole long for the Jack. Adamu open for three and he knocks it down. Brown tacks the rim and jams it in. He's hit it! Cole long for three! And the London Lions have the silverware in their hands. Your 2026 Super League Basketball Trophy champions, the London Lions.
is underway. Harrison drains the three. Gale to the basket. Out to Hottinger. Three is good for Ronnie Hottinger. Lewis spins to the basket. Great finish off the glass. Ciara finishes under the basket. Gale dancing around the outside, steps back. That will do it. The Sheffield Hatters are your 2026 Cup Final winners.
This has all the right ingredients to be a fantastic final.
Speed from Phillip getting to the ring. To the spin move. What a finish from Gabor Savoy. Steps away. Johnson splashes. Another three. Jordan Johnson is on fire here in the final. Here's McGusty and he's fouled as well. Jordan Johnson again. What a play from Tariq Phillip. McGusty does go, and McGusty from the elbow, and it is London who's made it 2 from 2. They are the Cup champions.
Super League basketball is leveling up British youths. This isn't just a league, it's a movement you can feel and see in the stands. From the first tip to the final buzzer, the story is written. Every drive, every shot, and every moment. Rivalries run deeper, games hit harder. One pass, one dunk, everything can shift. Legacies aren't given here, they're earned. New stories are ready, and new champions are coming. Season 2 is here. Stand tall for British basketball.
Welcome back into the National Basketball Performance Centre here in Manchester as we get ready for the second half between Manchester Basketball and the London Lions. And as we head into the third quarter, we are all level on 46 points each. And Jason leading the way for the London Lions. Cameron McGusty, 12 points personal. We spoke about him pre-game, but the impact that he has for London, 3 assists along with 2 rebounds, that's going to be something that they look for in the second half.
It is, and whenever you play on a winning team, if you have to be one of the main guys, you have to be efficient. Cameron McGusty, 4 from 7 tonight, and he doesn't look to force the shot. He takes what's his, and mid-range McGusty has got more to do, I would say, in this second half.
And again, he's really a player that does a lot of work off the ball that doesn't always show up on the stat sheet.
No, he doesn't, and he's perpetual movement on offense too. So whether you're guarding the ball or you're guarding him off the ball, he really puts some pressure on the defense at any given time.
And for Manchester, DJ Mitchell, 12 points so far for Mitchell. We saw him with that hot start for Manchester, but London may be able to get out to him a bit in the second.
Yeah, but I don't think he can play any better. He's not forced it when London have doubled him in certain times. He's 5 for 8 too. So he can really, really explode at any point, but he's playing within the system and he's being very, very efficient. So both of those players, you can see that they're quality athletes and professional scorers.
And leading all scorers, PJ Smith Jr. hitting 3 3-pointers today, along with 4 assists for Manchester. So it's been neck and neck so far, 46 all as we head into the third quarter. Manchester were up at the end of the first. London with a 3-point advantage in the second, but again, all level as we head into the third.
Yeah, and it's got a great second half in store. 46 plus 46 is great for everybody watching in this arena. I'm sure this will be the game that everybody's tuned into on DAZN. You can see the stats there, but the only one that matters is the overall score. So plenty to do for both teams, and we're going to look at other games going on, Kaz, I'm sure, in the league.
Yeah, so Bristol hosting Surrey, and Bristol currently down 1. Surrey leading 48-47 in the third quarter, and tipping off very shortly it will be Sheffield and Leicester. And as Jason said, all those games live on DAZN as they are all season long. So get your split screens going. All the action in the Super League today as we're heading towards the end of the season.
Yeah, Manchester not only have to win today, they have to go to Sheffield next week. Atiba Lions and co, they are tried and tested when it comes to playoff basketball. So a very, very tough ask for all three of those teams, that being Cheshire, Manchester and Sheffield, to try gain second spot.
And as well, before those games, Manchester will be heading over to Germany for the EMBL semi-finals and Final Four this week.
Yeah, adds the extra pressure on them, but for a week they have to be excited about, and Pete Simmons and Dominic Allen doing a fantastic job getting that team to where it is and on the road in the ENBL. How good have they been this year? It's been really, really good to see.
Yeah, been fantastic in their debut season in the ENBL. They'll be headed to the Final Four. But back on the court for the third quarter, it's Lions possession. As they look to try and take the lead as Scott double-teamed, shots off the rim, but chases down his own rebounds. And Nicholson will be called for the foul.
Matt Nicholson with the hustle hitting the deck, but it's kind of ill-advised to waste one out there. That will put him on 2 fouls, and he's known to be prone to picking up fouls, so probably could have let that one go. But you'd rather guy shows the intensity to go after the basketball and doesn't, so you can't really be mad at him for that one.
So London will get a fresh 14 and take it from the sideline.
What do you reckon? He picks up the next foul on Ethan Price in a ball screen right now? Let's see. They'll go back into a zone to prevent that.
Phillip. Brown Jr. threes up. No good, but Mitchell with the rebound. Smith Jr. Smith Jr. calling for a screen. Over to Nicholson. Jones running floater, bounces out, but Nicholson will get Manchester another chance. And Jones has space but can't convert.
I'm not sure he could expect himself to be that open. I think it shocked Max Jones when he caught that ball. There was no one within 10 feet of him. Sometimes it's as off-putting as someone flying at you.
So Jones called for his second foul there as he's reaching. And Manchester with 2 team fouls in the first minute here in the third quarter.
So Manchester will go back into that 2-3 zone now, and in the first half they tried it, and Tyreek Phillips says no and made the shot. That last time they missed on the outside 3, so Manchester will stay here until London make one.
Phillips to Magusti, lines it up. Nicholson takes the rebound. Still tied at 46, neither team having scored this quarter. But Smith Jr. winds up, drives to the basket, high off the glass, and the foul. Smith Jr. putting on a show here for the fans.
Wow, I didn't know the glass was that big. That must have hit the top of the backboard. We're going to see it again.
I think it did. I think it hit the
nice. Oh
yes.
My gosh.
So Smith Jr., a chance to take himself up to 20 points here, has given Manchester a 2-point lead.
Smith Jr. scoring from outside can go by you on defense, and then if in doubt, just throw it up there off the glass and it will go in.
So Smith Jr. up to 20 points after that free throw, and Manchester have a 3-point lead. Get onto the scoreboard first in the second half. Magusti. And balls knocked away by Smith Jr. Jones has Irving up ahead. And Jones is fouled.
Good foul by Brown Jr., but how well did Zach Irving do? That ball kept in by PJ Smith, and he just tipped it to himself to allow them to get out and run. And that is Manchester's game. London know it will be to their detriment if they keep turning the basketball over.
Smith Jr. Jones pulls the trigger, not that time.
Makeable shot by Max Jones, caught in rhythm.
And Manchester whistled for the foul, so that's the third team foul against Manchester. That'll be against Mitchell, his second.
Both of those teams, they're like that kid in your class that just annoys and annoys. They will not go away. No matter how well either of them play, they still just stick around, and just like that inevitable itch that you're trying to get and you can't reach.
Philip with 5 seconds on the clock. Philip pulls up, gets it to go, and it's a 1-point game.
That was really nice.
Mitchell to Nicholson. Nicholson driving, scoops it. Shot doesn't go, but Nicholson will go to the free throw line.
Really smart play by Matt Nicholson as he caught it at the three-point line. Ethan Price was begging him to put his head down and was looking for the charge, but Matt Nicholson composed himself and played with poise there.
And that is foul number 4 on Ethan Price for London, so he'll head to the bench and we'll see Jordan Williams into the game for the first time.
Jordan Williams only joining a couple of months ago in this Lions organisation, but he's got high pedigree within the British basketball scene. I'm sure his time will come, but maybe he's been signed as a view to next season.
Yeah, Williams in his second stint with the London Lions, played in Europe Cup with them in the 2021-22 season. Started this season in Iceland. As Nicholson goes 1 of 2 from the line. A 2-point Manchester lead. Philip. Philip all the way to the hole and slams it down. Oh, what a finish from Philip.
Well, we saw an earlier one of those in the season in the Euro Cup. Tyreek Phillip. No mercy on that rim. We're going to see it back on the replay. Look at him take flight. Take that, Manchester.
And Manchester answer at the other end, takes them back up 2. Philip to Scott, and Scott driving, gets his own rebound and the putback, and Joel Scott will go to the line. And that foul on Manchester.
It will be on Matt Nicholson, make that number 3 on him. So Ethan Price picking up that 4th was good news. The bad news is Matt Nicholson's just picked up his 3rd. And go back to the loose ball foul, which put him on 2. Tough break.
Scott shooting 74% from the stripe this season, hits the free throw. And there'll be I think the scoreboard had the score put on the wrong side, but that should be a 1-point London lead. So it is 53-52 to the Lions as Irvin floats it in. And basket's good.
You're going to count the basket? I'm not sure. A charge was called. I don't think that means that the basket is good. Gone by in days gone by, that was the rule, Kaz. You used to be able to stand under the bucket, and if a charge was called, it was all to do with whether the ball was still in your hands. If the ball was out of your hands and it went through, then the charge was called, the basket would count. That was way back in the day.
So let's see what they've said here. So foul is against Irvin. So Irvin picks up his first foul. And basket does count. So Manchester are up by 1 here. But Manchester have been on team fouls.
Well, I think I got that all wrong, because I thought the foul was on Osoboyan on the charge, and it wasn't. It was off the ball. So yes, the basket will count. It just goes to show how long I've been around the game, remembering plays like that and the charge.
So Williams hits the first. Williams out in Poland last season. Goes 1 of 2 from the line, and there'll be a foul under the basket, and that one will be against Ossaboyan. So Ossaboyan now picks up his 3rd foul, and that's Nicholson and Ossaboyan for Manchester on 3 fouls personal.
Well, that's a foul that can go either way, but Joel Scott will always be in there to mix it up. So will Gabe Ossaboyan, and that time the foul goes against Ossaboyan, but Joel Scott is a tough cover inside that blue area.
So Scott, first is good. Scott playing in Germany last season, where he averaged 12.4 points a game and 5.6 rebounds in Europe Cup with Ludwigsburg. And doesn't get the second, but London have a 1-point lead. Manchester on 5 team fouls now for the rest of the quarter and 6:23 to play. That's a lot of time still left.
It is, and it looks like we're going to get a lot of chance to talk, Kaz, because there's been about 3 stoppages within this last 2 minutes. The referee's just going over the table to talk about something, but this is the point where both teams have to remain concentrated, keep their eyes on the prize.
So it's Manchester possession, a 1-point Lions lead. Jones to the basket, scoops it in.
Nice little hezzy by Max Jones. The switch off the screen enabled him to get that little seam of daylight. Nice finish by Max.
And Manchester take the lead back. Williams finds Scott. Scott, what a finish under the basket. Reverses the ball in.
Well, the Zach Irvin impression on the other side as he cut baseline. He used the side of the rim to protect from the shot block. Nice catch by Joel Scott.
And a 1-point Lions lead. Smith Jr. working against Williams. And ball goes out of bounds, so Lions will get the ball back.
Smith Jr. too quick for himself there. He'll go out and have a rest.
We'll see Jordan Johnson missed a second half coming into the basketball game. And this is where Jordan Johnson works his magic for Manchester. Magusti. Scott to the basket and throws it down.
That was nice.
A 3-point London lead. Jones. Jones runs into traffic and somehow gets the ball to drop.
Max Jones playing horse here. Cameron Magusti initially came over and provided the help. It was good defense. But as he went back to his man, Jones just spotted a glimmer of daylight. Laid that ball up. Really smart play by Max Jones.
Defense. Lions up 1, just under 5 minutes to play in the third. Magusti. Ball's loose on the floor and a jump ball will be called. Possession arrow is with Manchester.
Those are the plays that can make the game go either way. Gabe Ossaboyan always plays physical and hit the deck. Didn't foul, but it was a lot of contact, and that would have put him on 4 if that one had been called. He stands tall, and he's counted once again. Good steal by Gabe Ossaboyan.
So Aaron Wright checks in for the Lions. And Tim Adesukasi back out for Manchester. Johnson in control.
Right now, Max Jones will fancy his chances. He's percolating, and he has Aaron Wright on him. Can he get to the bucket? The fadeaway doesn't go, but Jordan Johnson has a chance, Gaz.
There's Irvin from outside. Too strong, but Ossaboyan's there for the rebound. Jones calling from it outside. And ball is loose. Whose possession is that? And it's Manchester ball.
Yeah.
So Manchester will take it from the sideline. Fresh 14 on the clock.
Let's go, Manny, let's go. Let's go, Manny.
As Scott trying to save it. Ball's into Ossaboyan. Jones. 7 seconds on the clock. Jones against Williams. And an offensive foul called against Jones. So Jones picks up his 3rd foul. And London will have possession.
Right now, if I'm Coach Matthew Watton, I will get Gabe Ossaboyan out of the game because he's not anything to do with him, but he's had a couple of calls that he could have got caught up in fouls. The London Lions bench are really on that, and they're letting the referees know. So if you do not want him to pick up that 4th foul quickly, I would get him out right now. But we can all be a coach on the side when there's no pressure.
It's a 59-58 London lead over Manchester. Reynolds Jr. keeps the ball alive with London. 7 seconds on the clock. Scott spins to the basket, and that will be foul number 4 on Gabe Ossaboyan. And just like you said, Jason, just a few seconds ago,
yeah, there's always a danger, and these players are smart. Joe Scott will know that there has been a few no calls at the other end. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take it right back, and I'm going to force the issue. Gabe Ossaboyan moves on to 4 fouls. Also, Matt Nicholson on 3. All of a sudden, the interior defense of Manchester has a slight problem. So fair play to London Lions for exploiting it. But Gabe Ossaboyan should, for me, have really been out.
So Ossaboyan will take a seat, and Matt Nicholson comes in. So as you said, Nicholson on those 3 fouls as Scott hits the first free throw. Scott played at Colorado State University in Division 1, where he played alongside Neat Clifford, currently playing for the Sacramento Kings in the NBA this season. As he hits the second, and it's a 3-point London lead.
He's a guy throughout his career, even in college, has earned every minute that he's got. Most players do, but him especially, he's just been a warrior on whichever basketball team he's been on.
Scott into double figures for London as Manchester looking to answer. Johnson to the basket, lays it in.
Would you like some tea with that roll, says Jordan Johnson as he goes to the left hand. A thing of beauty. 2-3 zone again by Manchester.
1-point Lions lead. Phillip going inside, too strong. Nicholson with his 9th rebound. Smith Jr. runs into Williams, and Williams called for the foul. So that's team foul number 4 against London.
Tyreek Phillip thought he was pushed by Jordan Johnson on that last play, and reenacting a school playground scene as he runs over to the referee and said, "I was pushed." He probably was, but there's been that much physical contact in this one. They're going to let certain things go.
Johnson setting things up for Manchester. Against Williams. Johnson from deep. Shot spins down. And London back down the floor. And an offensive foul call goes against the Lions. There's a foul off the ball against Williams.
Both big guys running the floor really well. One time Nicholson sold the foul. Not sure it's a problem with Jordan Williams only picking up, I think that's his first.
Yeah. So both teams now on 5 team fouls. So the next foul puts either team at the free throw line.
Kieran Sandy into the ball game.
Johnson to Adatu Kassi. Adatu Kassi driving And that'll be an offensive foul the other way against Manchester.
So both of these teams really good weak side defensively, and how much in practice is that worked on? I would argue probably a lot, because you go back to those drills where you skip the ball, you jump off your man, you take a charge, you run back. Both teams are very, very good at reacting to even when players do get beat.
1 point game. Just over 2.5 minutes to go in the third. Phillip to Williams. Williams has space, shots up off the rim into the hands of Smith Jr.
Looks like Manchester are going to gamble and see if London can make those threes and stay in that zone. Will it pay off?
Johnson. Johnson hangs in the air, doesn't go. And Williams off to the races with authority. Dean Williams making a statement here in the third quarter.
Wow, that is nice. We're probably going to see it twice on the replay, as there is a jump ball coming, but watch this play once again by Dean Williams. He had no business even laying this basketball up. As he got out in the open court, I think there was one dribble. And hello, New York, New York, as the Statue of Liberty dunk. Dean Williams, here it is. One dribble and punches that basketball through. What a play by the number 31.
And the Lions up 3 here in the third quarter. Phillip, back to Reynolds Jr. Phillip, Reynolds Jr., extra pass, gets the ball back, 3 seconds, time running down for the Lions, and blocked by Nicholson, as Nicholson swats the ball away.
Well, now it's Manchester's turn to hang on in there as they are on the ropes. London playing some very good basketball, but with 0.2 remaining, has to be a tip. Anything under 0.4 can't be a catch and shoot.
And that'll be a shot clock violation, so Manchester a chance to tie on this possession. Down 3, 1:24 to play in the third quarter.
How good have these games been between these two clubs?
Every single one has just been a battle. And what an advert for the game here, for the Super League.
I mean, London well worth their 3 trophies, let's not dispute that, but what we can say is this has been a rivalry all year, and it's been a very, very good one and a well-contested one.
So London whistled for the foul, and that will put Matt Nicholson at the line. As Joel Scott back out onto the floor. And Dean Williams goes to the bench. Williams with his 3rd foul for the Lions.
What do we have here? Matt Nicholson drawing fouls away from the bucket. Who would have thought that? You know, Kaz, we go on about the race for second, but look at that 6th, 7th and 8th place. Surrey, Leicester and Newcastle. You know, if Leicester can get some players back, Coach Paternoster and his crew will have a run in those playoffs. Newcastle too, if they can get back at home for a game or two, Coach Mark Stewart will rally their troops, and Lloyd Gardner and Surrey and Coach Kapoulis and Bristol. Everyone still has a shout.
It really is a league where anyone can beat anyone on any given day. And we'll retake that last free throw. So Nicholson will get another chance here.
Tough loss from Surrey the other night. You know, they had that game against Caledonia.
And then a huge three-pointer with time running down in regulation. And every game on Friday won by a single possession for the first time that's happened.
Very good.
In 4 games. As Nicholson gets the roll, it's a 2-point game. But I think that just shows, doesn't it, how close these teams are and how even these games have been.
Well, in any league in the world, that's what you want going down the stretch. You don't want to see blowouts. You don't want to see teams give up. And just as we have here with a 2-point game right now, we're going into the 4th with a really tight affair. Like you said, the last 4 games across the league have all been decided by a single bucket. How about Sheffield in the women's game winning the league
Winning the
again?
league, that's fantastic. See, they've got 3 now, so they've got the trophy, the cup, and the league of the Sheffield Hatters, and they've made it known they want the quadruple. As Scott under the basket draws the foul. He's so good at that, so effective at being able to take that contact, get himself into position, and gets himself to the foul line.
He is, but let's go back to the Sheffield Hatters, give them their applause. So dominant in the Betty Cadona days, you know, way back when, and Vanessa Ellis, you know, I know that,
I mean,
bringing that back for her mum, inspiring that legacy and making sure that Sheffield Hatters are on top, winning all 3 trophies. So what an accomplishment it is for them to just keep it going.
Yeah,
like that.
huge accomplishment for them. And obviously, you know, a team that have been winning trophies since the 60s, just such an established club. And what they've done for the women's game, absolutely phenomenal. And as you said, carrying on that legacy of Betty Cadona. When they won that trophy in January, you could tell, you could see what it meant to them. As Adatu Cassie blocked by Sandy in the corner, and Kieran Sandy, a huge rejection for the Lions.
Wow. Manchester need a score here. I know it's only 1 possession, but momentum will go with the Lions if they don't finish this quarter well.
Ball's in the hands of Johnson. Johnson pulls up from deep and connects. And right on cue, Jordan Johnson answers for Manchester.
Well, if you need a score, he's your guy, Jordan Johnson. Practice 3-ball from the top as Tyreek Phillip looks to respond, and he does.
And a huge answer there from Phillip. It's a 4-point game. Jones. 1 second difference between the shot and game clock. Jones looking for a screen. 7 seconds. Jones spinning, hangs in the air, gets it to go! A tough shot by Jones, and Phillip will launch. Doesn't drop, and at the end of the 3rd quarter, it's a 2-point game, 68-66. What a shot there from Jones.
Well, the most inspiring part for Manchester is London cannot rock their confidence. They just keep coming back and coming back, and right now this could go anywhere, but London on the other side, Manchester have given them all they can help, and they just take your soul. London just keep scoring and keep playing, and it's depressing to know, as you look at the stats, Manchester can play that well, and they're still down.
And this is why London are top of the league. They've lost 6 games all season, 24 wins, and they just play they play by committee, don't they, out there on the court?
They just continue to play the game how they played. Their identity is to stop you in the half court and move the basketball, but usually teams have a little bit of a chink in the armour. London has none. They can just roll, and you at times have to pick your poison. I think what Coach Johnson may do is he may well stay in that zone because they have missed a few open shots. And does he let the dice roll and just stay there and dare them to make the 3?
London hitting 6 threes to Manchester's 7, but London from the field 54% to 45%. And we saw early on Manchester really able to capitalise on those turnovers for London and get those fast break points. So the playoff final coming up at the O2 Arena on the 17th of May. You can get your tickets now. Go to axs.com or superleaguebasketballm.co.uk. An absolutely fantastic day. It always is. The men's final, the women's final at the O2. It's just a staple of British basketball.
It is. Every event has been special this year in the Super League.
So 10 more minutes to play, and it's Manchester ball from the sideline to start the 4th quarter.
Tyreek Phillip will, as always, take on the challenge. He'll guard Jordan Johnson, who's been a thorn in the side of London in these games.
Ball's into Adatu Cassie, a 4-point Lions lead. Adatu Cassie takes it all the way, gets his own rebound, and ball's intercepted by Rye. Phillip. And Jordan Johnson whistles for the foul. So London ball from the sideline.
Not often do you see two guards going at each other with the same colour shoes and laces. The reverse Grinches sported by both Jordan Johnson and Tyreek Phillip.
We've got some nice ones out there today. Sandy passes under the basket. Wright can't finish. Mitchell to Johnson. The decision there from Mitchell, waiting for the team to catch up. As Johnson will set things up. Johnson driving, draws the foul. So Jordan Johnson with 2 shots to come.
That was really smart, and it was the experience of Jordan Johnson that told. As he turned that corner, he knew Kieran Sandy was in the vicinity, and he just drew the foul. Nothing that Kieran Sandy could do. So important, guys, that get to the line. It does so many things. It allows the defense to set up at the other end. It also draws fouls, obviously, on the other players. It stops the clock, and it's the most high percentage shot that you have in the game. So there's all kinds of reasons why scorers get to the line, and it helps their team so much.
And it also gives you that little bit of a break for the team, doesn't it? Just to catch your breath.
It gives us a break too. I mean, the intensity this has been played at.
As Johnson doesn't hit the first, averaging 14.1 points a game, 5.2 assists, which is good for 5th in the Super League this season, is Johnson.
Yeah, there are some games, Kaz, where both me and you, I don't know if you feel the same, but we're you know, really grateful to catch his breath. This is one of them.
As Johnson gets the second.
Using all the iron, Jordan Johnson makes the second. Will they go into this zone? It looks like they will.
1 point game. Magusti to Phillip. Phillip puts it up. That's off. Johnson with the rebound. Manchester a chance to take the lead. Johnson thought about it. Jones looking to pass out. Adatu Cassie with 6 seconds. Great defense here from London, straight to the ball as Jones gets the foul on the shot. And that's tough for London. You played some really strong defense there with the clock winding down.
Yeah, got that one down to around 2 seconds, and Max Jones just bailed them out. Really smart play, to be fair, by Max Jones. He split the D here, nothing doing, and he somehow fathoms away to the bucket. Tyreek Phillip picks up the foul, but right now for Manchester Cars, they have to stay in this zone. Dare London to make some shots, because if they can come out running at the other end, a high ball screen is the recipe for success. Get into your offense quickly and speed this game up. I love coaching without the responsibility.
It's great, isn't it?
Yeah, Coach Matthew Otten over there, he can do that, but he has the extra responsibility, and what a good job he's done this year.
He's done a fantastic job alongside his assistants, Matt Pitkin and Anton Roxy as well, part of the coaching staff for Manchester. As Jones, the team's leading scorer this season, gets the roll on the second, and Manchester have a 1 point lead. 8:32 to play in the fourth. Brown Jr. to Magusti.
Icing the ball screen there as it goes to the corner. Goes out of bounds, but as Magusti tried to get that screen, Matt Nicholson shouted ice, and Jordan Johnson took it away, forced it to the help.
Six seconds on the clock for London. Brown Jr. Brown Jr. pulls up for the long 2, and Price is there for the rebound. Ethan Price back into the game, playing on those 4 fouls for the Lions. Magusti can't get it to go. And a technical foul called. So 1 free throw to come. That's going to go against the Lions. And that's against Phillip. So that's, apologies, that's against Magusti. So that's Magusti's 2nd foul.
Well, on Friday we saw Max Jones pick up his 2nd T4 Poor body language, it was explained, and I think McGusty was the culprit of that the last time. Not sure whether we're going to see on the replay. Didn't look like he turned and yelled anything, so I can only imagine it was the body language and kind of trying to show the referee up, which cost him that foul. But Max Jones takes advantage at the other end. But what a game we have here. Manchester Basketball leading London. You know, we're going to see it. We can't just see him out of the picture, can we?
But only 2 fouls from McGusty, so that's not too difficult a position, is it, for London?
No.
So Manchester up 2. Chance to take it to a 2-possession lead. Johnson. Johnson dancing around the outside. Mitchell with 8 seconds. 5 seconds for Mitchell. Mitchell steps back. That's short.
Donovan Mitchell had a mismatch in terms of size with Shavar Reynolds. They switched quickly and Brown picked up the assignment.
Reynolds Jr. against Jones. Price back to Reynolds Jr. Reynolds Jr. up and Price finishing at the rim. The lob and the finish.
How nice was that?
Tied at 70 all. Johnson pulls up. Long 2 is good.
Smooth as you like. Jordan Johnson as cool as the other side of the pillow. Responds. Manchester fall back in that 2-3 zone.
Scott out to Brown Jr. Deflected by Johnson, and Johnson all the way to the basket, gets the whistle, and an unsportsmanlike is called. So 2 free throws and possession to come here for Manchester. And Johnson, the read of the pass, coming up clutch again, time after time. It is Jordan Johnson in the second half for Manchester.
Well, I would definitely say this is a foul, and I'm not sure whether they can go and look at that on the monitor. The refs are just going to discuss it and give a common foul, but initially the foul was called unsportsmanlike, but I'm not sure. I think they're just going to go back to the regular foul, and good communication by the referees.
So that'll be the second foul on Reynolds Jr. Johnson back at the free throw line. He's up to 10 points personal. 2 points in the first half and then 8 in the second.
Well, he's missing free throws. His last trip he was 1 for 2. Just proving he's human, Kaz.
So Johnson's been averaging 12.4 points a game in the second half over the last 10 games for Manchester.
He has, and he's really been the kryptonite for London. He misses 2 in a row.
London with a chance to go back ahead here. Reynolds Jr. Reynolds Jr. with the mid-range. Ties it back at 72 all.
So much is psychological in the game, and Jordan Johnson missing 2 in a row. It seems to affect him as Nicholson squeezes the basketball through. But Jordan Johnson looks out of sorts here.
And we've got a timeout called. 6:28 to play. Yeah. Manchester a 2-point lead.
I'm just keeping my eye on Jordan Johnson. I'm not sure whether he missed the free throws because kind of looks a little bit dizzy. Goes to the bench and let's hope he's okay. And Shonda Brown Jr. on the other end, he hit the deck. Oh wow.
So it's been an 8-4 run for Manchester this quarter. They've got a 2-point lead. And both teams just neck and neck.
Yeah, but Manchester have had it rolling offensively and defensively. They've found something that has worked. They've not stopped London, but they've slowed them down slightly. They've made them shoot from the outside, which is not what they want to do. But how about Matt Nicholson playing on those 3 fouls? He just had the dunk. and he's been on 3 for quite a long time. Gave Osaboya moved to 4, which meant Nicholson had to come back and continue to play on 3 fouls. How composed has he been, Kaz?
Yeah, he's been fantastic. 8 points and 10 rebounds for Nicholson. As teams come back out onto the court. A 2-point game.
Zach Irvin into the game, which is very important. He is the captain, and there's a reason for that. He remains constant and he's reliable. So Zach Irvin coming back into the game is a really good substitution.
Lions ball. Reynolds Jr. Reynolds Jr. pulls up from the baseline, not that time. Johnson has it, over to Mitchell. Mitchell steps back, doesn't drop, but Nicholson with the rebound, can't finish. And Price, right place, right time for the Lions.
Rewinding that, DJ Mitchell had an open one on the break and turned it down. He couldn't resist reloading and shooting the one after that, but really could have caught in transition and shot, and he knows that was one that got away. I'm sure he won't make the mistake again when he catches and he's wide open.
So London go again from the sideline.
Everything's amplified. Everything is so much bigger in a game like this. Both teams are very, very good. And every player, you only have a split second to make a decision.
Phillip. McGusty. McGusty against Mitchell. Oh, great pass over to Scott, who puts it in and ties the game at 74. Scott up to 14 points for London. Johnson to Jones. Jones steps back, three's up, off the back iron, and a foul under the basket. That'll be a holding foul against London. So Manchester will take it from the end line.
Matt Nicholson is playing a really, really solid game here. He's drawing fouls. He's taking on the responsibility of playing inside on those 3 fouls. And he is one of the main reasons that Manchester is still in it. A tie ball game with 5:28 remaining.
And that foul puts London in the bonus now for the rest of the quarter.
Yeah, that is really significant. So they cannot stop the basketball on the break by doing that European foul and slowing the team down. Everything will be at the line from here on out.
Nicholson with 5 offensive rebounds today, hits the first.
So Matthew Watson going with all 4 of his dynamite scorers, PJ Smith, Johnson, DJ Smith and Max Jones. This is the recipe with all the ingredients that they have to figure out.
And Nicholson goes 1 of 2 from the line. It's a 1-point game. Phillip. Round the screen from Scott. Phillip all the way to the hole and gets the whistle. So Tariq Phillip goes to the line for 2. Second team foul against Manchester.
Well, Tariq Phillip is a true professional because most players would have just kept going away from the bucket. Did you see how he really smothered that basketball and got both elbows out, which meant there inevitably had to be some contact as he went to the line. PJ Smith put in a very vulnerable position by Tariq Phillip.
Phillip averaging 9.1 points a game, shooting just over 80% from the line this season. Doesn't get the first to drop. He's got 16 points today, along with 7 rebounds. And ties the game at 75. Just over 5 minutes to play here in the fourth quarter.
Let's go, Manny, let's go. 5 minutes and 13 seconds in this fourth and final.
Johnson. Johnson steps back, three's up, connects! And Jordan Johnson doing what he does best. A 3-point Manchester lead. Brown Jr. looks to answer, can't get it to go. Ball's tipped into Johnson's hands, he's doubled, and McGusty's there for the steal.
Wow, had a wide open PJ Smith there and turned it over, and London will get the ball back. But they were off to the races, had Jordan Johnson outlet that basketball, but really good strategy. Get the switch, get Jordan Johnson to go at Joe Scott at the top of the key. That may be the way forward from here on out.
Lions ball, McGusty fouled under the basket, and he's going to go to the line.
Every play is huge. For a split second, Jordan Johnson fell asleep. McGusty punishes him.
That takes Manchester to 3 team fouls. McGusty led the league in scoring in Poland last season, previously having played in France and Italy. Has another to come.
He's been quiet since the first quarter too. Now is his time. We'll see if he steps up.
Second's good though. It's a 1-point game. McGusty up to 14 points personal. Under 4.5 minutes to play. Johnson. Johnson to the basket, off the glass and in!
Jordan Johnson cut that corner and took flight, went right at the body of the defense, eliminated the shot block, and all of a sudden Manchester Basketball are up 3. Can they extend this lead and possibly hang on to keep their season alive for second place?
And a timeout called as coaches want to talk it over, but Jordan Johnson, there's a plethora of ways that he can score the basketball, and he's showing us every single one of them.
He's been, all season, he's just been that guy that's not been able to fathom, even as commentators, I'm not sure he should have held the basketball that long. Then again, he's very, very good at it, so he's been sensational, Kaz. It's just been that final that they lost, and he's just kept ticking over and kept ticking over, and right now it just looks like he's going to come again. That shot on Friday looked like a practice rhythm shot for him, and he's just so smooth. Arguably one of the best guards in this league, if not the best down the stretch.
So a 3-point lead for Manchester. Tariq Phillip leading the Lions with 17 points. 4 Lions players in double figures. And also 4 Manchester players in double figures, so it is just even across the board as teams take to the floor.
So right now, if you're London, you have to step up and make a 3. However, if you are a Manchester, who do you leave? It's not necessarily who the best percentage shooters are, it's who is ready for the occasion. This guy on the basketball is someone you don't dare to shoot.
McGusty looks for a path, pulls up, knocks it down.
A la Sean Livingston, mid-range game is on point. I cannot remember him missing one.
Straight out of the timeout, back to a 1-point game. Johnson. Johnson again to the basket, doesn't go, but tipped in by Nicholson. And a double-double for Nicholson, 11 points to go with his 12 rebounds. Manchester take a 3-point lead back. McGusty, long 2, nets it! Back-to-back buckets from McGusty.
Wow, anywhere around that free throw line and on the wings, he is dynamite. Cameron McGusty leading the way.
Mitchell catch and shoot off the rim, and London have a chance to go ahead here. Ball's into Scott, and good hands there from Jones, knocking the ball away.
Really good pass by McGusty. Joel Scott just having the mismatch.
And the positioning from Scott to be able to catch that pass.
Yeah, he's just good running from rim to rim, and anytime he has a mismatch, they look for him in the open court.
Williams over to Phillip. Balls into Scott. Scott spins. Shot short. And Brown Jr. skies in out of nowhere, grabs the rebound. And a foul goes against Manchester.
DJ Mitchell seemed to have took one in the face right there, but every odd play, somebody on the court gets hit. It's just so physical.
You can see there Mitchell just working against Scott under the basket, and it will be Brown Jr. with 2 free throws.
I think this game also, I know the rivalry has had some distasteful moments, especially in the final and the game before that when players were at each other's benches. But this one has been played tough, but it's played with great sportsmanship. Players are not really taking it too personal, they're just getting on with things, and a really good advert for the Super League.
It certainly is, as we've got a timeout called. Manchester leading by 1 here, but 2 free throws to come for London after this timeout. And we can see there PJ Smith Jr. leading all scorers with 20 points, but Cam McGusty, 18 points, back-to-back buckets there in the last couple of minutes.
Well, he had 12 at half, and he's just got 3 buckets in a row. But it is McGusty time. In that final, he was the difference going down the stretch. Manchester will be aware of that, but playing that zone allows McGusty that little bit of space around the foul line area. So, do they stay in the zone? Do they not? I would stay in it. I would dare London to make some outside shots.
So teams coming back out of the timeout in the Surrey and Bristol game. Surrey coming out with a 10-point win, 89-79, behind a huge 32-point game from Keno Lilly Jr. for the 89ers.
Yeah, he's a player.
And Sheffield and Leicester, it's currently a 51-40 lead for Leicester in the second quarter over Sheffield. So teams back out on the court. It's Brown Jr. at the line as he hits the first. Brown Jr. out in Japan last season, in his first season for London this season. Doesn't get the second. We're tied at 82 all, under 3 minutes to play. Johnson.
Just under 3 minutes left. Forward Johnson.
Johnson has the ball knocked away by Phillip. Phillip will take it. Too strong, but Williams is there for the rebound. Can't finish on the putback. Johnson back down the floor for Manchester. Goes inside and runs into Scott, so the travel calls.
Well, Jordan Johnson with the block at one end, he's probably his first block of the season. And then he comes down the other end, and good defense by Joel Scott to stay in front. Just looks like no one wants to take this lead. Miss free throws, turnovers at the other end. Tetchy time for both clubs.
So Johnson will head to the bench, and Zach Irving will come in for Manchester. It's London ball. Phillip to McGusty. Out to the corner, Brown Jr. for the lead, gets it to go! And it's a 3-point lead for London.
Finally, London connect from the outside, and is that the killer blow with just over 2 minutes remaining. Plenty of ball game left here and no rush for Manchester basketball.
Jones to Irving, looks to answer. Off the front of the rim, and London are off and running as McGusty puts it in the basket. And it's a 5-point lead here for London. McGusty out and running, ready and waiting.
Like Mike Tyson in his heyday, you just keep hitting him and he never falls down. This London Lions club just stay ready, play their game of basketball, and it just seems when it matters, they find a way.
And this is something London do really well as well. When they are down, they don't panic. There's no, they have the confidence because they know that they can get a lead back. And it's in those last 2 minutes or so of the game they become very, very dangerous.
Also, the habit is winning, and they know that they've been here before, so no panic. Manchester throwing everything at them, and London just keep finding ways to get it done. But with 1:58 remaining, it is only 5 points. Manchester, I dare say, would have taken that and being in this position where they can strike back. It was in the last game in London the same. London were up and Manchester came back, so there is so much basketball to be played. No one's game yet.
Oh, absolutely. 1:58 is loads of time. So it will be Manchester ball from the end line. It's a 5-point Lions lead. Johnson will get it over the halfway line for Manchester. Nicholson, hands off to Jones. Jones threes up, won't go. London can use the clock here. Phillip. Williams, hands off to McGusty. McGusty with 4 seconds. Going against Mitchell, McGusty fading away. And shots in and out and drops from Augusti. He's up to 22 points.
Wow.
Extends the lead for London. As Nicholson gets the whistle, so fouls against London, and Manchester will go to the line. But Cameron McGusty, as we said before the game, he comes up big when London needs him to.
Well, Tyreek Phillip with the swipe down and the foul called will allow Matt Nicholson to go to the line. But yeah, you're exactly right, Gaz. Cameron McGusty has just been an absolute pain for this Manchester basketball team. That had no business going in. Watch him dance with the defense. And then Donovan Mitchell played it as well as you can, and Cameron McGusty, just a terrific player.
Nicholson doesn't hit the first.
Air ball by Matt Nicholson. It's not unheard of. If he can make the second, he'll still be 50% on this trip, but never a nice feeling when you don't draw iron from the foul line.
And second one bounces out. Brown Jr. with the rebound again. London can use the clock here to their advantage. They have a 7-point lead. Biggest lead for either team since the first quarter. As Scott against Nicholson, blocked by Nicholson. And Manchester back on the attack. Jones looks for some space. Jones to the basket. Will go to the line for 2.
Credit Max Jones. He took it very, very strong to the iron there. Turned the corner and he knew that Joe Scott was coming after that ball. Smart play by Max Jones to get to the line and stop the clock. So 7-point ball game. You would imagine that Max Jones should make both of these to cut it to 5. And is there enough time left for Manchester to potentially come up with a steal? It was London the other night against Cheshire that overturned this kind of deficit to get it down to a one-shot game at the end. Cheshire did hold on for dear life, really, but can Manchester do the same and reverse that trend against London here?
So 2 free throws to come here for Jones as he gets the first. So if you make the second here for Manchester, you want to get a very quick stop.
You have to pick up full court and you have to gamble. Potentially allow London to go early and have a wide open one and shoot. But Manchester, the game needs to be quickened up.
As Jones gets the second. 5-point Lions lead, 38.9 seconds to play. London ball as Manchester will pick up full court here. As ball's in, Osaboyan with the steal, ball's into the hands of Johnson. And Jordan Johnson goes to the basket, scoops it up, can't get it to go. It's out of bounds, and last touch, Manchester. So Manchester did everything they wanted to do there, just not able to get the score.
Gabe Osaboyan with the steal, and Jordan Johnson with potentially one of his easy ones tonight. Just overcooked it, comes off the head of Max Jones. Is it gonna be London's night?
So substitution for London as Reynolds Jr. back into the game. Phillip looks to get the ball in. Reynolds Jr. back to Phillip. McGusty, long pass over to Scott. And Scott will use the clock here.
Yeah, I love this,
and
how
London
they're passing
playing
the ball.
keep away.
Yeah, I really like that. You don't often see that in teams anymore. Usually the guy who holds the ball and gets fouled. But Tyreek Phillip, Joel Scott, Cameron McGusty just moving that basketball, keeping it alive. It means that with 16.2 remaining, they have a five-point lead.
They do, and that is foul number 5 on Max Jones, so he will have to go to the bench for Manchester. Jones with 15 points today, as Cameron McGusty at the foul line. McGusty leading all scorers with 22 points today, as he gets the first. Stretches the lead back to 6 for the Lions. And goes 2 of 2, leads back to 7, and McGusty up to 24 points as we have a timeout called. It'll be Manchester ball.
You have to really tip your hat off to London and the coaching staff, because at the beginning of the season, this was essentially a new basketball team, and you didn't really know, they didn't really do that well in the Euro Cup competition and have done in previous years. And in their league, they didn't really get it going that early, and they just have found a way. They've gelled, so credit the coaching staff and credit the players for buying in, because right now it looks like this one has just been a step too far for Manchester.
And there's a reason they're top of the table, 24 wins and 6 losses this season, winning the league title, the trophy and the cup. They're a very well-oiled machine.
They are, but Manchester will, there's a saying that you either win or you learn, and Manchester will learn from this one. Arguably, it's one of the better games they can have, because yes, the loss will hurt against their rival, but they will learn from this, and going into the playoffs, they will be even sicker than they were coming into this one, which might bode them well down the stretch.
And with Cheshire playing Caledonia later today, Manchester and Cheshire fighting out for that second placed spot. That's something to keep an eye on. So teams back out onto the floor, 16.2 seconds in the game, 14 seconds on the shot clock for Manchester, and it will be Manchester possession from the sideline. As Mitchell looks to get the ball in, Smith Jr. Smith Jr. pulls up, nets it, and a quick score from Manchester, as London will move the ball around. Brown Jr. to Williams, and that's going to do it, as London will dribble it out, and they come away with the win in Manchester, 91-86. London led by Cameron McGusty with 24 points, along with 5 assists and 2 rebounds. McGusty, again, coming up big when London needed him to in that fourth quarter.
Yeah, and I'm glad I called it in the pre-game that he was the man of the moment, and would the basketball be in his hands? It was. Every time they needed a score, he got it done. But Manchester basketball can be very proud of this game. They've played a really good ball game, and at the end of the day, they're going to wake up in the morning and know they were just beat by possibly a better team on the night.
And also for London, Tyreek Phillip, 17 points, 8 rebounds for London. Joel Scott with 14 points and 8 rebounds, along with 2 assists. And for Manchester, leading the way, PJ Smith Jr., 22 points, 3 rebounds and 4 assists. 15 points from Max Jones and 15 points off the bench from Jordan Johnson, along with 5 rebounds and 3 assists. And we can see there London just edging the field goal percentage, 51% to 44. hitting 7 threes to Manchester's 8, but able to really capitalise on those rebounds. 43 rebounds to Manchester's 37, and a huge 52 points in the paint to Manchester's 42. So Manchester, their last game of the regular season, Jason, they will have an eye on their next game against Sheffield next weekend, but obviously the EMBL semi-finals, Final Four will be taking place this week before then.
Yeah, a lot to be played for, and you would imagine that there will be another game in this building, at least in the quarterfinals, because Manchester sure of a top 4 spot, you would think.
Yeah,
they will have home court advantage in the quarterfinals.
Yeah, and that will take place on Thursday, the 30th of April. You can go to manchester.basketball, get your tickets now, come down to the National Basketball Performance Centre and support the team. It's been a fantastic season, though. Manchester Basketball only in their 2nd season as a franchise, having surpassed their win total from last year.
It has, and it was, you know, they go to Sheffield on Sunday and they have to win. I mean, hope Cheshire can drop one. You wouldn't think Cheshire would lose in terms of playing Leicester and Caledonia at home, but Leicester up against Sheffield right now with 3:57 remaining in the third. They're up 63-48. So Leicester could really surprise a few people here. But yeah, in terms of Manchester's basketball season, they've had a good one, but there's so much yet to play for, so not over yet.
It isn't at all, like you said there. So Leicester up at Sheffield, looking to bounce back from that loss to Manchester on Friday night, and then later to come today at 5:30, Cheshire and Caledonia. And we saw Caledonia with that big win against Surrey on Friday. So as we've said, any team can beat any team on any day.
They can, but I think Cheshire will take care of home court. They're a tough opposition on the road, but definitely more so at home. So I would go for Cheshire finishing 2nd. And then all comes down to Manchester-Sheffield next weekend.
And we are heading towards the final weekend of the regular season. And in the last round, it'll be Leicester against Sheffield on Tuesday, Caledonia and Bristol on Friday, alongside Newcastle and Leicester. Then Surrey hosting London on Saturday, and in the final day of the regular season, Bristol and Newcastle, Sheffield and Manchester, and Cheshire hosting the Leicester Riders. So a lot more action to come next weekend. Stay tuned to the Super League Basketball social media channels for all the action and all the games live on DAZN, as they are all season long. So the final score from here in Manchester, the London Lions at 91, Manchester Basketball 86. From myself, Caroline Bullock, and from Jason Swain, thank you for joining us, and we'll see you soon.
Super League Basketball is levelling up British hoops. This isn't just a league, it's a movement you can feel and see in the stands. From the first tip to the final buzzer, the story is written. Every drive, every shot, and every moment. Rivalries run deeper, games hit harder. One pass, one dunk, everything can shift. Legacies aren't given here, they're earned. New stories are ready, and new champions are coming. Season 2 is here. Stand tall for British basketball.